It all started when I was 4. My dad asked me to go to a football match and my response was, why would I want to see some people run around on some grass for some fun? I was young, I was naive, and I had no idea what was in store. Fast forward 2 years and my best friend in first school asked me to join a local team in our village called Hemsby Hornets. I still remember to this day my first ever training session. At the end of it we played a mini match and I scored in a game which was 1-2-1. I then rushed home and then went and recreated that same game in my bedroom for the next few days and weeks, eventually managing to dislocate my toe by accidentally kicking a door. None of this mattered though. My passion, my life, and everything in it would forever be focused on this one game going forward. The team for me was Leeds United, as my grandmother came from there and I had no affiliation to my local side, Norwich City. Well, not for a year or so anyway. We'll get to that. Moving on another year, and I was stood in my garden as I was playing football, eating a mint chocolate ice cream. They don't do them anymore, these Cadbury mint chocolate ice cream, but they were decent. To be told by my parents that I was to go on trial with Norwich City to be potentially selected for their under-9 team. The trials were an awesome experience. I remember the first one vividly. I turned up, I ate a chocolate croissant before getting out the car, and I went and played the game I loved against the best of the best in the Norfolk area. Things started off awesome. My performances and my enjoyment were consistently high, although this changed quickly for whatever reason. I became a chubby little Ellis, and I mean, you know, look at them cheeks, what a guy. And I was told unfortunately that I hadn't made it into the academy. I remember walking home from first school devastated at the news. It's weird how the highs and the lows of the game were already ingrained in me at the age of 8. And genuinely, I wouldn't wish that on anyone of that age. The game is cutthroat, and for people that young, it can genuinely be horrid. For the next 6 months, I wouldn't eat properly. I'd run up and down my hallway non-stop all the time with my mind purely set on the goal of becoming a footballer. I was 8 years old. Eventually though, I achieved my goal and I was into the Norwich City youth setup. The night was one of the best nights of my childhood. I received a call to tell me I'd made it in, and I remember going outside whilst the family were watching a movie and I just kicked the ball, an inflatable football, against a hedge for like 2 hours straight. Football had already become this thing that my entire existence centred around. And I was fine with that. You see, my childhood was never stable, to say the least. Things in my home life were never consistent. The only singular constant was football. 5 days a week I'd play, and the other 2 would be spent watching Leeds United and playing Pro Evolution Soccer 2006. Adriano, by the way, what a guy. Whether watching the game or playing it, I was fully engrossed. I remember watching the 04 Euros and crying when we lost to Portugal on penalties, and then the 06 World Cup and crying when we lost to Portugal on penalties. Anyway, things at Norwich didn't work out. Mainly the fact everyone hit puberty, and I now at the age of 21 still look like I haven't. So I was released, and I went on to have the most fun playing football I ever did, playing with my mates at a molehill infested park at a horrible standard of football, but it didn't matter. It was a laugh with my mates twice a week and an escape from all the other things going on in my personal life at the time. I mean, to go from playing in such a cutthroat culture with fans at your games of the parents of the children, like having a go at their child for doing poorly, and then going to a relaxed place where you could kick a football on a molehill was genuinely the biggest relief of my childhood. Everything about my being will always have some sort of focus on the game, and I'm perfectly fine with that. If in 5 years' time I'm not working in football, then I won't be being true to myself as a person. It's my passion, and as I've been, how I've learnt so many lessons in life. So many lessons in life. Rejection, elation, lows, highs, and everything in between. I know it's cliche, but people tell me it's only a game, but for me it's more than that and always will be. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Yeah, this was a love letter to football.